Our landscape is changing quicker than anybody could ever imagine. We are on the brink of something absolutely crazy. And in this video, and actually on my entire channel, what I'm going to try to do is prepare you guys for all the crazy stuff that is about to happen. Because trust me when I say that this is going to be one of the historically most enriching periods for just the normal people. And what I mean with that is if right now you're well prepared, you can make an absolute crazy amount of money in the next couple of months right here. And I honestly believe that the next 60 days are going to be most crucial. The next 60 days, 2 months, is all you're going to need to hopefully become crazy wealthy, or rather, if you're, starting out a little bit less than the majority of the people, to at least make a good dent in hopefully a completely juicy and new future. Because as we all know, riches don't happen overnight unless you know something that the rest don't. And so in this video, I'm about to tell you something that a lot of people are not willing to hear or not prepared for. Something very important is going to happen in the next 48 hours. And to not leave you guys waiting, I am talking about the Bitcoin weekly close. But more importantly, with the Bitcoin weekly close of next week, as in my opinion, it will finally decide whether or not this bull market is here to stay. There's also a couple of other very important things happening though. We've got the Gary Gensler speech, we've got the FOMC meeting, and we've got some money-making opportunities. And to simply put it again, I am right now getting myself into riskier and riskier situations. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it's wise to throw some money out there to prepare rather than waiting, and being left with, let's not say that, almost nothing. I've already told you guys that I personally believe if you set yourself up right, which I think can be done between right now and the next 60 days, you can make a freaking ton of money the moment that crypto prices start to spiral out of control again. Anyway, if you guys haven't done it yet, make sure you press that like button. We've got a $1,000 giveaway only for followers if Bitcoin hits $30,000 or actually stays there in April. We've got Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC speech, in about 3 days from now, and that's what everybody right now is watching for, as whatever he says could have literal implications as to how the US determines crypto in the future. We've recently seen the US SEC go after DeFi. I believe that was an announcement from yesterday. But like I said, right now is a key pivotal moment. And that's because Bitcoin has gone above one of the major barriers that was holding it back for a very long time. And all you guys that watch the channel for a little while know that based on a ridiculous amount of metrics, the last couple of weeks, Bitcoin's price was just extremely undervalued. Let me actually remind you guys by showing you a couple of metrics that we use to determine when the best entry should be. And again, let me add, this entire video is hopefully going to let you realize something that's going to allow you to make a crazy amount of money. I am not, in no way, shape, or form, I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been around money for a little while now. I know my way around the crypto space, and what we do know is that even though it's not completely cyclical, not everything actually repeats itself, a lot of things do. And so if we look at those things in the cryptocurrency cycles, price cycle, that do repeat, we're actually able to make a crazy fortune just from being right a couple small times. But there's also news that you guys need to hear about that I'll be covering in this video. Anyway, to continue on with the story, I have many metrics right now that I want to show you to kind of gauge how many guys are aware how the big guys do it. But before I do show you, I just want to quickly point out the most crucial thing we're waiting for. We've seen quite recently that Bitcoin's dominance has a very important barrier. We've covered this for the last couple of months. I believe we've been looking at this chart for over a year, but right now Bitcoin is at a pivotal moment in terms of dominance, and so it might shift over back into altcoins because historically it's done that many times at this exact point. That's not everything though. Right now on the daily, we've actually broken out and got ourselves a confirming candle, but over on the weekly, we got ourselves a breakout as well, but just no confirming candle just quite yet. And actually, our breakout candle will also only close at the end of tomorrow. I'm checking right now. Right now, it's Saturday. Tomorrow will be a pivotal close for Bitcoin's weekly candle, and then the week afterwards will set the tone. And honestly, that's why at the start of this video, I said the next 60 days, because there's still a possibility for Bitcoin to right now break down. It's not completely confirmed just quite, but in the next 60 days, everything will be decided. And I've already said to you guys, if right now you are not preparing for the major bull market because I personally already believe that it is here right now as we speak. If you're not preparing for it, then you're not going to make as much money as the majority of people will. I've actually prepared you guys for it for a long time, which is why I'm going to show you guys these metrics yet again. But just know that the bull market won't feel like a bull market until we're turning back around. Understand, Ethereum has tripled from the bottom. Bitcoin has doubled from the bottom. At what exact point are you going to recognize that this is here to stay? Again, Bitcoin goes in cycles every single time. It's now been down for roughly a year, and we've now crossed the hurdle, so as far as I can see it, it's just go time. Anyway, I'm preparing for it that way. I've already described it many times. I'd rather lose out on some money that I try to put to work to try and make me even more millions of dollars than not put any of my dollars into work and not have it be anything. Why did I put the light on? To make it, I put it off to get some, little romantic time between us here. Now, in all seriousness, also one more chart that we're watching, which is this ascending broadening wedge. It's just the fact that this can actually still break down because we've not gotten any confirmations just quite yet. I just prepared you guys for that a little while ago. And again, I do believe that the next 60 days will set the stage for all this. And now, I've actually already said it a little bit earlier in this video, but there's another very important event that's happening in about 3 days from now, which is Gary Gensler, the head of the US SEC, going in front of Congress to speak his mind about crypto regulation. And you can see what news came out yesterday or late last night, which is pretty crazy. The US moves towards DeFi oversight as it reopens proposed regulations. Again, the idea here is regulations for decentralized finance, which most likely will include the persecution of many of these DeFi protocols, like, for example, a Uniswap, a SushiSwap, you pick it, from two parts. One is all the breaches. They want to kind of protect you as investors from that, which is fair. And the second part is the non-KYC, non-AML compliance of these platforms, basically meaning you guys in the US are about to get absolutely screwed because you're probably not going to be able to use all these DeFi platforms anymore, as the US cannot verify the legitimacy of all of it, and they cannot verify that you're not transacting money illegally. So is that good? Well, again, in 3 days, we're going to see Mr. Gary Gensler speak all of his mind, because take a look at this. The SEC recently has just been completely bamboozled with all the different fines from people that noticed that their policy is not as rock solid as might meet the eye. For example, Huber here posted the SEC getting wrecked. There's also abundant evidence that the SEC was not only aware of the widespread regulatory confusion, but helped to slow it by repeatedly offering vague guidance that differed from the Howey test. And right now, as I just said, that battle is also being fought, and again, part of it will conclude in 3 days, and so expect, even though it might not, but expect some volatility, as I believe that Congress is not really that good at asking questions, and I honestly, again, believe that they're going to be asking like little circular questions of, how do you define crypto regulation? He's going to say, well, I think it's pretty good. Most cryptocurrencies are secure. It's just the same talk he's been giving for the last couple of months or even years for that matter. I don't think it's going to get us really far, but maybe, just maybe, one of the people in Congress is actually invested in the space, understands the confusion of the SEC, has potentially read some lawsuits, and will actually ask the right questions. And I don't believe that anything Gary Gensler could say can actually bring crypto prices down further, because even if he says we'll be persecuting every single crypto, well, I mean, the whole Ripple case has showcased that they'll do that for sure. There's no question about it. The only thing is, can we catch him off guard? Can we catch him and smacking him a couple of times on the bottom because he messed up? That would be juicy, and that could actually pump the crypto prices, and so I'm looking out for that. Anyway, now that we're on the topic of dates, right, because the US SEC, it's crucial. Ripple's lawsuit could end anytime. There's not really actually a specific date for that. What we do have a date for, though, is the FOMC meeting, which is going to happen in about 2.5 weeks from now. It's far, sure, but pivotal, because again, it's going to decide major factors for the entire economy, and so you should also pay close attention to everything said surrounding that event. The Fed leans towards another hike, defying staff's recession outlook. We've already seen many economists say a recession is about to happen. I believe even JP Morgan said a recession is about to happen. BlackRock just said they expect another rate hike. To be a little bit more specific, the $9 trillion asset manager BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, said he thinks the interest rate will actually rise by another 75 basis points, not exactly within, one little announcement, but that it will actually continue to go up by another 75 basis points over time. Zero Hedge has also been posting a lot about things just not looking as good in the background that, again, I think a lot of people over in the West are missing. The fact that China, for example, and I don't want to go too deep into all this, but I don't want to cover his angle, but I want to cover the fact that they are preparing for the US to slip up and they're ready to take all that money. Again, potentially not through China itself, but it seems right now that for the crypto space, they're looking at Hong Kong to take in all that money, again, through some very smart policy. But I'm mostly talking about the fact that you could talk about TikTok's programming of the youth in the US. Not sure exactly how we define that in all this master plan. What we do see is the US policy just taking it down, and China and partially India as well, just on the up and up. Oh, I couldn't watch this any longer. I had to give you guys a little insertion here to say, right now, the opportunity itself is basically the fact that all these guys are having a big turf battle over the currencies, but the crypto still remains the center of a lot of the attention in a negative light. All I'm trying to say here is right now, from almost every single perspective, it just looks as if crypto is a good opportunity to get into. The dollar fails, boom, crypto is pretty huge. Economy fails, boom, crypto is pretty huge. China wants to take power from the US. Well, they can partially do that through crypto with Hong Kong. And you can extrapolate, you can think about it, but almost every single time you see some massively crazy negative announcements from a macroeconomic perspective, Bitcoin does actually react quite well, and all cryptos do. Again, a pivotal point here being the fact that when the whole Corona thing came, all right, crypto also went down. But I think right now there's a paradigm shift for people understanding why to buy crypto. Not just for a, hey, I should have some crypto next to my stocks. No, it's game-changing stuff. It's life-changing stuff. It's real, well, a real ecosystem, I guess I can put it. Yeah, it's just something interesting I noted that I wanted to note upon here. The fact that indeed we are seeing some sort of paradigm shift, and the opportunity here is if you're early enough and right now are looking for the right coins, which again I'll describe on this channel, and you're doing the airdrops that I talk about, and you're looking into the sales that I talk about. Again, always do your own due diligence, but just right now seems like such a good opportunity to easily 10x, 20x, 100x your portfolio over the next couple of months. But it's only if you're there early enough. And right now things are not completely in the shitter, but they can be soon. And so again, that's why I put like 6 days as in like a pivotal point to prepare properly before you're already a little bit late. You're not late to crypto because, again, I believe Apple will make an announcement this bull run of saying, hey, we're going to adapt all this cryptocurrency stuff into our phones. And at that point, you're not an early adopter anymore. But right now, I think mostly then you're late to making the crazy amounts of 1000x's, etc. I mean, Shiba Inu, for example, a guy put in $8,000, got a couple billion back. That only works if you buy into these coins before they get the crazy hype. And I believe that right now we might be at that point before all the massive hype. But even Trump and all those guys have said the US is ruining itself from the inside out. And so in terms of economical parts, I'm just not expecting US to be the powerhouse for right now because they're just going down and down and down in every way, shape, or form. Even from 1975 or so up to now, I think the dollar has fallen like 98% in terms of purchasing power. So yeah, just all I'm saying is be prepared for everything around the FOMC meeting to be quite volatile the moment that it happens. This again could be another pivotal moment for the crypto space because it is the way for stocks. What was also pivotal for crypto though, and I think this is very important to add, was the fact that Ethereum went through its fork. I already described it to you guys. And the fact, I guess, that Twitter is going to allow for crypto transactions, crypto exchange operations, sort of. But the Ethereum Shanghai fork basically allowed many of these institutional players to put more money into Ethereum. And it's something that I just did not make clear enough just how extremely bullish that is. And just I wanted to quickly make that clear. With regards to our metrics, we have a lot that we take a look at almost every single day. One of those is the long-term holder realized profit loss ratio. Again, simply put, you can see cycles just in simple terms because I don't have time to explain this to full detail today. When it goes from red to green, things start to pump back up. What we're seeing right now is things go from red to green, so things are about to get pretty crazy again. We've got the Bitcoin yardsticks. We've got the Ethereum monthly returns and the Bitcoin monthly returns for that matter. We've got the long-term holder capitalization risk, and we've got the 4-year compound annual growth rate. This one, I'm just going to quickly explain. What we've seen in this is the fact that what it basically takes is, let's say we take a point right here at $3,000, then we take a point 4 years further. which in this case here would be 20,000 bucks. Difference being $16,000. And the question is, with this 4-year CAGR, how much percent does the Bitcoin price need to grow per year to get to that point, so to speak? And so it basically just shows the returns, right? Or the growth rate, or what the growth rate should be. And if this is going down, it basically means that the amount of money that you're going to make through crypto, generally speaking, is going to go down as time progresses. It's diminishing returns that we're noticing right now. It's not completely confirmed, but that's what we're noticing. And it's just something that people like to analyze because it also has certain waves inside of it. The capitulation risk just shows these scariest periods for people where they actually give up. And what we've seen is right after periods people give up, the prices start going crazy. Right now, we've had a massive period of capitulation, so to speak, or capitulation risk, where people just absolutely give up. And right afterwards, things just go bullish again. Again, I'm making it quick here. Just take a second, put this on pause, look at the chart for a little second, and start to understand. If you want the text below it, I'll leave it for you here as well. We've also got the monthly returns, and I showed you guys so many parts about this. It's the same for Bitcoin, same for Ethereum, same for all these other coins. It just shows you on average how many people capitulate, how many people give up, but also how much money you could make and how volatile it is, etc. It's a 30-day rolling number, so if it says right here it's plus 0.3 or plus or 0.27, it basically means on average is going up about 0.95% a day or so. And like I said before, it's quite cyclical in nature as well, where after a very big capitulation, you see a very big rebound, which we see time and time again. Just look at whenever it's been below the green line, afterwards there was a massive rebound every single time, but also vice versa. The start of a massive run every single time has been some massive capitulation first, where again, people got massively fearful and the coin basically lost half its value or more in a very short amount of time before things just started to go absolutely haywire. Happened every single time, except for once, which was this point right here in 2018, where the price went absolutely crazy in terms of capitulation, then went haywire for a little bit, but actually decided to break down throughout the subsequent years. And so the only warning that I gave you guys a little while ago is the fact that indeed we had a capitulation, a crazy spike afterwards, but afterwards we've still gone down. And so from all these, one thing you can extrapolate is indeed that things are changing and it's not going to stay completely cyclical. What we also know from a different perspective, though, is that the world is getting more and more messed up as we speak. And also the last 2 or so years, they have not been normal that we've known for the last, well, however long you've been alive for. And so from that perspective, can we really compare all these methods? Can we really compare all these periods? And also, and this is another very important one to think about, if the US is going to stop being the major powerhouse, right? Oh, wait, I forgot. Hey, wait a minute. I have to forget there's now 2 different cameras. Is going to stop being that powerhouse anyway, then it's going to also change the way that a lot of people will see economy. This idea in the US of, oh, but just put it into a Roth IRA. They're going to invest it for you. Or this idea of make sure you invest your money. That's worked since Warren Buffett was born, since before that even, for the last 120 years. It might not work as well anymore because, well, none of us alive have known it any differently. You know, we have not, any of us, known the US in a negative period of real long-term destruction. We've seen depressions. Well, I haven't, but if you've been around for like 100 years, you've seen a depression, and we've seen some bad periods like in 2008 or in the 2000s, but not really a paradigm shift where the US dollar is not the main currency anymore. And it is, of course, some that's looming. And also, I keep seeing people in the comment section say, Dusty, you're crazy. It's not going to happen. If you think the dollar is going to give up, you're absolutely crazy. And all I can say to you is, if even Donald Trump says the U.S. is being destroyed from the inside out and they're completely wrecking the currency, and we've seen major bankers say there's a recession coming, which they don't quickly say, I want you guys to prepare for that. Anyway, a couple of side pieces. Aptos went crazy because Elon Musk said something pretty crazy on Twitter. He posted AI Aptot. And then a little bit later, he deleted that, but Aptos obviously went up like crazy, the crypto. Like I already stated a little bit earlier, Hong Kong is going to be the hub for cryptocurrency, it seems. I'd say there's a couple different hubs, but Dubai and Hong Kong are putting their best feet forward. Hong Kong's biggest virtual lender to start crypto conversion services. Yeah, that's pretty wild. They're prepping properly. Apparently, a new company, Chia Network, is submitting registration to US SEC for a proposed IPO. This guy is the inventor of BitTorrent. He apparently wants to take his crypto company or his blockchain smart contract company public, which is very peculiar. And also, I want you guys to do one more thing. When I actually type it in right now, Ripple investors, I want you guys to type that in Ripple Labs investors. Just for fun, I want to quickly show you that if you think that this whole Ripple company was just some made up by a couple of fun, giggly guys in that room with no proper plan and no longevity, just know that the partners here that have actually invested, a lot of these guys like Google Ventures, if they see the money in this, and there are actually many between this list right here, all I'm trying to say is many of these guys, they know their way around the world. They know their way around investing, and they also know that they have invested in not just one fintech company, not just one blockchain company, probably dozens, if not 100 or more of them. And they know that if Ripple goes down, many of their other investments are going to be going down. And Ripple was probably one of their best unicorns, right? I mean, from Google Ventures perspective, investing 10 years ago, right now it being over like $10 billion of valuation, it's a pretty good ROI. And it's not unique for them, but still it's your golden gem, because since you've made one grow a lot, being an angel investor, there's a good potential of you being able to replicate that now because of your results at some point already. My point being, they don't want to see Ripple go down. You have to guys understand this for a little second. There are many of these major funds that rule our world, like for example, Google Ventures here, that don't want to see Ripple fail because they've got skin in the game. They've got money on this. All these guys also know if Ripple does end up losing, a lot of their investments are going to be going down, and their best investments might actually become worthless. And from that perspective, all I'm saying is, guys, take a little step back and understand. The US right now is in a crazy position. Ripple's lawsuit, the SEC, all that stuff, it's so much deeper than many people think that meets the eye. It's a bigger battle of keeping the people poor, it seems, because the US SEC's policies are just so weird. Hong Kong is just acting like a massive powerhouse. We've got ourselves the SEC hearing coming up on the 18th and the FOMC coming up in about 2.5 weeks, 18 days. Elon Musk just pumped Aptos with a tweet. We've got many metrics that showcase the crypto market bull run is back, or at least starting up. We've also got two different parts in the charts that are interesting to watch. A part being the fact that right now, again, tomorrow, in the next 32 hours or so, is going to be a major close for Bitcoin. On the opposite side, next week close will be most important of all. But then we also have our ascending broadening wedge that we talked about before that also deserves a little bit of attention because this is still not extremely bullish. But generally speaking, I'm quite excited for crypto and hope you guys are too. Make sure you stick around for my giveaway, all I'll say. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today or tomorrow.